Yeah, please, please. Good morning. This is a wonderful crowd. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And no, this is not a pep rally for the basketball game that's happening this evening in Durham. I'm Scott DeRossi, Dean of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill School of Dentistry. It's an honor to be hosting this momentous event today and celebrate a historic announcement for our school. Before inviting Interim Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz to share our news, I want to take a minute to celebrate and share some amazing things about this great dental school. UNC Dentistry was the first dental school established in the state of North Carolina. We have been educating oral health professionals for nearly 70 years. We have been ranked the #2 dental school in the world for the last 2 years. And there are more than 100,000 patient visits annually in this building, attracting patients from all 100 counties across the state. Each year, we provide more than $3 million in no-cost oral health care across the state. Even as recently as February 1st, we provided over $20,000 of no-cost care to underserved and vulnerable local children for the National Give Kids a Smile Day. But you didn't come to this event to hear about what we have done. You were here to learn about this exciting announcement and the impact it will have on what we do in our exciting future. With that in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce Interim Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz to the podium.
Thank you, Dean DeRossi. And while it may be raining outside, the sun is shining on UNC School of Dentistry today. In 1950, the UNC School of Dentistry opened its doors to its first 40 students. Its first patient was admitted in 1952. And since then, approximately 125 students join the School of Dentistry each year. And nearly 50% of our state's dentists are graduates of this wonderful school. As Scott just mentioned, the school sees over 90,000 patients annually. It's enjoyed tremendous growth, including this beautiful Corey Oral Health Sciences building. Today is a momentous step in the school's journey as it continues to serve our state. We're announcing today a $27.7 million gift from Dr. Claude Adams III. It is the largest gift in the dental school's history. To commemorate the gift, we are renaming the dental school UNC Claude A. Adams Jr. and Grace Phillips Adams School of Dentistry in honor of Dr. Adams' parents. Join me in recognizing this momentous occasion. This transformative gift will change the future of dentistry at Carolina and across our state. It'll enhance innovative change, and this transformative gift will change the future of dentistry. It will enhance innovative teaching and hands-on training to prepare our dentists to serve the residents of North Carolina. It will allow us to expand service learning opportunities with dentists across our state. Currently, we have 50 partner sites in over 35 counties across North Carolina. This gift will establish new merit-based scholarships while also funding other Adams scholars already in place. Dentistry represents so much of what is great about the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. We talk about being passionately public. We are the first of the publics, but the most public of the publics. And we're committed to continuing to serve the citizens of North Carolina and their health and well-being. We are student-focused at Carolina, giving experiences that will enable students to be the best oral health professionals in the country. We are committed to excellence in research, teaching, and patient care. Today, we want to recognize Dr. Adams, who passed away last winter. He practiced dentistry in Durham for over 25 years. He was a Duke and VCU graduate, and he was inspired by our school and its story. And Dr. Ron Straus will tell you a little more about that and how that came to be. His gifts to dentistry over the years have enabled over 100 students to become Tar Heels, including Pega, who will speak later in the program this morning. And with this gift, the school can dream bigger and set bolder goals. The UNC Adams School of Dentistry is now increasing its campaign goal from $50 million to $70 million. And this will be possible because of the hard work and contributions of so many people that are here today. I want to thank Scott DeRossi for his leadership. I want to thank Dr. Ron Straus, who you'll hear from, and I want to thank Paul Gardner, a good friend, who I know worked tirelessly with Dr. Adams for many years to make this possible. I want to thank former Dean John Stam, who was critical in making this possible, and every member of the School of Dentistry for your service to the health and well-being of the citizens of North Carolina. I'd like to now ask Board of Trustees Chair Haywood Cochran to come and bring greetings from the Board of Trustees. Chair Cochran.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, distinguished guests and friends of Carolina's outstanding dental program. I'm honored to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the university. As trustees, our number one job is to support our interim chancellor and his entire team and the university's vision to provide all of our students with extraordinary opportunities to learn, to discover, and to serve the public good, especially here in North Carolina. The trustees are constantly amazed and excited by what is happening on campus. We see a thriving, vibrant academic community bursting at the seams with energy, promoting results, and with vast potential. Our students serve us each day with their promise, ambition, and desire to make a difference in the world. Our faculty are deeply committed to educating the next generation of leaders, advancing knowledge, and serving the public good. And we are in awe of what our staff do every day to support our university and to make it better. Nowhere is this spirit of service and commitment to excellence more evident than here at the dental school. Under the direction of Dean DeRossi, the first dental school in our state is leading the way in education, research, and patient care. In particular, the school's commitment to community service across our state is inspiring. At 50 partner sites in 35 North Carolina counties, students work side by side with practicing dentists to address patient needs in underserved areas. The dental school is living out our university's mission to be truly of and for the public. Today's gift will strengthen this commitment and enable the dental school to continue its leadership in innovative healthcare. It is a pleasure to honor and celebrate the legacy of Dr. Claude Adams and the naming of the dental school after his parents. And our trustees join the university in recognizing Dr. Adams for this very generous gift. His dedication and commitment to patients and serving our communities is an inspiration to us all. He believes strongly in this program and the ways our students, faculty, researchers, and healthcare professionals can truly make a difference, and we're grateful for his gift. I want to personally acknowledge the role of Dean DeRossi and the leadership of the dental school for your efforts. Scott, thank you. And I also want to thank David Ruth and our development team for their leadership and the hard work in the campaign for Carolina. As chair of the Board of Trustees, I'm very grateful to the loyal friends of the university who understand our mission and the critical importance of the work we do every day to make it all possible. Thank you all, and I now turn the podium back over to Dean DeRossi.
Thank you, Chairman Cochran. I have repeatedly said that this is a special place with special programs and special people. And one group of those special people join us on stage, our students. Representing them today is second-year dental student and Adams Scholar, Pega.
Thank you, Dr. DeRossi. Hello and welcome. As you just heard, my name is Pega Kimrani, and I'm a second-year dental student here at UNC. My classmates and I are sincerely honored to be awarded the Claude A. Adams Scholarship. Each one of us has a story about how we ended up where we are today. Mine began right here in Chapel Hill when I was 6 years old and I entered orthodontic treatment for a Class 3 malocclusion. I sat in the huge dental chair with the headlight flashing over me. I felt pain and fear, but I was also fascinated. My curiosity grew with each visit, fueled by my caring practitioners answering my endless questions. I can't say I enjoyed wearing headgear as a child, or years later, having jaw surgery right before college. But through every step, from then to now, I was eager to understand my treatment. That curiosity has never changed. Today, Dr. Adams' generosity is an inspiration, but it too made me curious. When I was awarded the scholarship, I wondered about him. What kind of person was he? What were his values? I discovered he served our country in the Army, and that he was a quiet person who owned a practice in Durham. He valued hard work. I also found out that his donations were in honor of his father and were awarded to students for tuition and travel. So I thought about that. I thought about how to best honor him and his father as I uphold the integrity of this scholarship. I considered why Dr. Adams valued tuition and travel. When you travel, you need to be open to new ideas, to exploring different paths, and to creating new trails. I realized this mindset can happen anywhere in the world, whether it's right here in Chapel Hill, at a North Carolina Missions and Mercy Clinic, or on a service trip abroad. So, this is what I pledge to do going forward. I pledge to use this scholarship as an inspiration to learn more and travel in order to better serve communities locally and globally. I pledge to work hard and to grow. I pledge to use dentistry as a means to better serve others facing dental hardships. And I pledge to always remember that even a quiet, private person can make the world a better place. Thank you, Dr. Adams. I would like to now introduce our next speaker, Dr. Ronald Straus. Dr. Ronald Straus came to North Carolina in 1974. Throughout that time, he has had a tremendous impact. He has served as the president of the American Cleft Palate Craniofacial Association and was named an inaugural member of the Thorpe Faculty Engaged Scholars. He holds faculty appointments of the 3 schools: Professor of Social Medicine at the School of Medicine, Clinical Professor of Epidemiology at the Gillings School of Public Health, and as the Claude A. Adams Junior Distinguished Professor at the School of Dentistry. It is my pleasure to introduce Executive Vice Provost and Chief International Officer, Dr. Straus, to the podium.
Distinguished guests and distinguished students, this is just a lovely, lovely event. And I want to start by thanking Pega. I really appreciated your pledge. As the first recipient of the Claude A. Adams Distinguished Professorship, I too wanted to know a lot more about Claude Adams, but I actually got a chance to do that in person, and that was really lovely. There's a story here about how this came to happen, and there's a person in the audience who played a very big part in that story. Turns out that an attorney by the name of Willard Mount, a good friend of Dr. Adams, wanted to make sure that Dr. Adams used his financial legacy well and guided his hand. And so one afternoon, after the close of business, the phone rang in the Department of Dental Ecology. It was after hours, so wasn't certain that someone was going to answer the phone. But the hero of this story is the person who actually answered the phone. It's Miss Martha Barber. Martha, could you just stand and be recognized, please? As many things happen in this university and in this world, it is the people who might answer the phone that actually make the big difference. And Ms. Barber got this call from an attorney. It was after hours. He said, I've been trying to call different departments at the dental school. Nobody's answering. And is there anybody there that I can talk to? And Ms. Barber, and I have the note in my file, Ms. Barber wrote down his name, came in and said, I think there's somebody you might need to talk with. And sure enough, patched him through to my office. I had a conversation with Mr. Mount in which he articulated a desire to help a good friend and dentist to do something wonderful to recognize his parents. And then we began a conversation in which I told him about the wonderful things that are happening at the school. And he really was interested in the special care aspects of the school, the hospital care, the craniofacial center, the geriatrics and special needs care that the school had. But he was also really interested in the students in general. And we had a very spirited conversation in which the attorney made it absolutely apparent that he wasn't going to tell me the name of the donor because the donor was a very private person and actually hadn't been a student at this school. And it wasn't sure that this was going to be something that would actually come to pass. Well, one thing led to another. I wrote him a letter talking about some of the things. I went back in this file. And finally, I met with the attorney. He told me the name of the individual. He also told me at that point in time, Dr. Adams was very private and very discreet, and that if there were any way in which his name was associated with this gift, the gift would lapse. And so thus began a period of almost 20 years of secrecy. He agreed in our conversations. He did not want to talk to development officers. He reluctantly talked to deans. What he really wanted was to honor his parents, especially his dad, who he was in practice with. Well, I just fell in love with this man. He was humble and good-hearted and generous and wanted to give back to the community. and he was easy to talk to, a man of great wealth, not made, by the way, in his dental clinic, but made through his family. At one of the sweetest moments was really, I was starting to get to know him. I said, okay, can we meet for lunch? Let's get together and talk about your dream and your aspirations, and let's see where this will go. And he said, well, I'll only meet with you in one restaurant. I said, one restaurant in particular. I was thinking nice restaurants, maybe we'll go to the Carolina Inn or something like that. No, he said, only place I'll meet with you is in Time Out. Time Out is where we met. And Time Out is where we met several times. And we got to know each other over those meetings. And I made notes on those meetings because I was completely charmed by what brought him to this decision, which was not the school he went to, but the school that was in the community that he was working in, and the school that was dedicated to the betterment of North Carolina. And what he wanted to do was leave a legacy of benefit to the people of North Carolina through a gift to the dental school. I don't think it could have been a better gift. He had in his mind originally that half of his gift was going to go to another university. We won't go into that. But in time, he converted that to just this university and just this school. And our initial conversations were relatively modest. I mean, Mr. Mount said, maybe the gift would be as much as $8 million. And then I started talking with them. And the next thing I know, and Paul knows this story really well, is he came back and he said, that's too little. I want to make a bigger impact. I want to remember my parents in a bigger way. If I gave you $25 million, could you rename the dental school? Well, I took a deep breath. For one, nobody had ever talked about a gift of that size before. And I looked at Mr. Mount, and he said, go for it. And so here we are today. For the first 19 years of this gift, until Dr. Adams' passing, this was a secret by his wish. He did not wish his name to be associated with it while he lived. So I actually was the first recipient of the professorship, and for the first 18 years, it was called the Dental Friends Distinguished Professor, so as to not reveal his identity. And there was a really wonderful side to that. So many people give in order to elevate their own stature or their place in the community. This was a gentleman who wanted to do a lot more than that, and it wasn't about him. And it wasn't really about him until after he passed. So I do want to reflect on the values of humility, the dedication to community and to service, all of which I think are foundational for this fine school of dentistry, but also were foundational to Dr. Adams, who, by the way, all of you would have enjoyed. He was a lovely person and had a big, big picture. So it is really an honor to be the Claude A. Adams Jr. Distinguished Professor. I think of him often. I am grateful every time I think about it to Ms. Martha Barber for what she did working with me every year as I was chair and a faculty member in the dental ecology department. She is the quiet hero behind the story. I'm so grateful she could be here today. And I want to thank you all. It is a thrill to see this school be named after such a fitting individual. And I turn it over to Dean DeRossi.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Martha, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank our Associate Dean, Paul Gardner, for his efforts, and Vice Chancellor David Ruth, thank you for your support. I'm sure we can agree this is all really an incredibly exciting day for our school, for our university, and our community. And I'm grateful to each and every one of you for taking the time to join us to attend today's event, and to our distinguished stage guests whose presence made this day even more special. Thank you for being here, especially our students. Thank you. On a personal note, I want to take the time to deeply thank the close friends of Dr. Adams for attending today. Mr. Eddie Williams, Mr. Phil Kearney, and Ms. Kelsey Kearney, Dr. Adams' goddaughter. Thank you for being here. This is a transformational gift for our school and better positions us more than ever before to become the global model for oral health education and care and discovery. In fact, this incredible gift is believed to be the second largest gift ever to a public dental school and the third largest gift to any dental school in the United States. I am incredibly thankful for Dr. Adams' generosity and his faith in our school that this gift confirms. It is now my honor to ask Interim Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz to return to the podium to impart the honors befitting this incredible gift. Interim Chancellor.
I'd just like to thank Ron for a beautiful story from someone who knew Dr. Adams. I want to also thank Mr. Mount for his persistence in continuing to make those calls even after hours, and thank you, Mrs. Barber, for taking that call and sharing this wonderful news. This is a wonderful day for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And so now, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, I hereby dedicate the University of North Carolina's Claude A. Adams, Jr. and Grace Phillips Adams School of Dentistry. Thank you all for being here, and we now have a reception, and I look forward to meeting many of you over the next few hours. Are we going to run this thing, Scott? So,
As long as we can.
enjoy. Thank you for being here.